Okay, that did not sound too good. Well, oh my goodness. That is one of the worst gas tanks I've ever seen in my whole life right there. Holy shit, guys. This is, without a doubt, the dirtiest gas tank I've ever seen in my whole life. I don't know if I'm going to be able to save it. Muriatic acid is some crazy though, and it might eat away all of whatever is in that tank. So stay tuned to see if the gas tank is salvageable. Disgusting. So it's the next day. Let's see how the inside of the tank's doing. It's looking slightly a little bit better. Oh yeah, just keep in mind guys, if you're gonna do this, either take the petcock completely off and replace it with a steel plate to keep the acid in the tank, or just do what I did and leave it on if you have an extra one, only if you don't care about your petcock. I don't, because as you can see, the acid will completely wreck the petcock and dissolve it, because it's aluminum and acid eats up aluminum. Before and after acid. So looks like we're gonna have to replace the petcock with a steel plate and then fill this thing back up with acid and leave it for a day or two. Ooh, chunky. Check it out. Looks like some bare metal down there. Looks like we got a little pinhole down there pissing out. There's another one. We got 2 pissers. Inside's looking pretty damn good though. Alright, so we've already done 1 acid wash with this thing, and as you guys saw, there are some pinholes and rust holes and whatnot. So we're going to have to use a wire wheel on my angle grinder, grind all the paint and rust away so we can really see how much metal is actually left here. It looks like the whole tank is completely rust, but I think you guys will be surprised to see how much clean metal is under this. So let's gear up and grind into this thing. Since there is still a whole lot of paint on this side, I'm going to soften it up with a low vuck paint remover. This stuff, Easy Strip. It's been about an hour. I'm going to go ahead and clean this paint remover off the gas tank. Doesn't really seem like it worked as well as it did the last time I used it. Like, the last time I used it, the paint was all bubbled up and you could just scrape it off. But here, damn, what's this paint made out of? It's pretty tough. So now I can see all the pinholes on this tank. Well, I might as well just call them holes because they are a lot bigger than pinholes. I guess a lot of these were filled up with rust, and then when I started dissolving the rust, they all opened up. So I can kind of see all the big ones, at least I can see them, and now I should be able to solder them back into shape. I've never tried metal soldering like this before, but hey, let's just give it a shot. Let's see if I can fill up these holes. Alright guys, I'm going to try to use this Burns-O-Matic metalwork solder and a pencil torch. It runs on butane, it's pretty sweet. We don't need to use any flux, which is cool with this metalwork solder. We just got to get this torch lit, heat up the surrounding area, and then melt this into the holes. So I've done like electronic soldering, but that's about as much soldering as I've done, guys. So let's just give it a shot. For the better part of around 2 hours, I've been working on this gas tank, and I've been trying out this solder, and let me tell you, it takes some getting used to. I've soldered wires together before, but I've never just soldered directly onto steel, and there are definitely some tricks that you need to know to be able to do this at all. Trick number 1, you gotta have the metal perfectly clean. If it's rusty, dirty in any way, this stuff will not stick to it. Just period, it won't stick to it. The second part is that you don't need to get this that hot. You just need to melt it, and once you melt it, that's as hot as you need to get it, basically. There are so many freaking holes in this gas tank. I've just been soldering up each one of them, and I know it doesn't look good, and I'm not going for looking good at this point. I'm not even close to that part of the gas tank job. I'm just trying to seal them up so when I put acid in the tank, basically the acid won't just shoot out of the holes, because I really want to get the inside of this thing clean before I coat it. As you can see, there are still a lot of holes in this thing. I'm going to finish soldering this thing up and, well, check it out. As I said, we got to get this super clean. So I was having a lot of problems with that old solder, and I got some new solder. And I'm actually having a lot better luck with this stuff. I got it at a hardware store. It is 40% tin and 60% lead acid core solder. It's a little bit thicker too. So I'm going to finish up soldering these holes. Check it out. Okay guys, I finally think I've got all of the little pinholes and big ass holes soldered up. It took me a while guys, that's why I didn't film much during soldering, especially in the beginning because it was shitty. But I think I finally got the hang of it, and I know it's not pretty, but right now I'm just trying to seal up the holes so that I can give this tank another acid wash, clean out the inside rust, and then maybe I'll be able to get a Pour 15 liner in here. So let's fill this thing up with acid, leave it another couple days, and then I'll be back. So here we go. Alrighty, so it's been about a day since I soldered up the gas tank and then refilled it with acid. So hopefully there are no leaks, and hopefully the inside of the tank is nice and clean. Let's go ahead and open it up and find out. Well, looks like some of the acid leaked out. Let's see. Yeah, looks like it's got at least one leak. Alright, you guys probably can't see that, but the inside actually looks pretty nice and clean. Alright, now I'm going to add some BBs into the gas tank. And the reason I'm adding BBs in is so that I can shake it up and it'll give the tank some kind of a media to scratch the inside and clean the rust out. We've still got lots of leaks. Pour 15 does seal up pinholes though, so I think those ones will get sealed up by the Pour 15. And now using a heat gun, I gotta dry out the inside of this tank before we can put the liner in. Ooh. Oh yeah, that thing's hot. You really have to be quick after it's dry to put the liner in there, or else it'll flash rust. Only takes like 5 minutes for the tank to flash rust again after it's cleaned by the acid. Alright, it's time. Let's open up this Pour 15, pour it in the tank, and seal the tank up. Come on. Open, you son of a bitch. I'm on the clock. Come on. Okay, that was a tough seal to break. We got it. That's what it should look like. If it's any thicker than that, it's dried up and you gotta get a new can. The directions say to pour the whole can in, and then it says to roll the tank around so that you can coat the whole thing. Alright guys, so that is coat number 1. I'm probably going to have to do at least one more coat, maybe 2. So let's pull this plate off and dump the rest of the liner that we didn't use into the can. There it is. So I used about half the can. There's still a ton in here and it takes a while to drain it all out, but just to show you guys, there still is a lot left. Guys, this gas tank has been quite the challenge for me. I learned how to solder metal, and well, it just took me a while to clean it out and to even think about how I was going to go about this. I didn't know if I was going to maybe weld in sheet metal, or I don't know. I was really thinking I was just going to have to buy a whole new tank. But after a lot of work, this thing is definitely going to work as my gas tank. I know it doesn't look too pretty right now, but it's getting late and I've done quite enough for this video, I think. The tank is actually usable now, so that's a big step. Now I just have to make it look good and maybe give it a couple more coats of Por 15. Well, anyway guys, this video is getting quite long now, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a challenge to make. If you did like the video, guys, please hit the thumbs up button, like the video, comment what you think, and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the Patreon. I got a few people on there. It would really be cool if I could get my Patreon up to the next level, so check that out if you'd like to contribute. And thank you guys for watching. I'm all out of stuff to say. Peace out.